Welcome to episode 13 of the Tailgate Sports Podcast. We're going to give our week 9 takeaways, talk a little bit about the trade deadline, give my MVPs halfway through the season, and talk a little bit about the NBA. Starting off with the takeaways. I think we have to talk about this one. The Jets beat the Texans, reeling everybody back in, reeling all the Jets fans back in, making them all delusional again, thinking that their season is saved and they could win out and make the playoffs and be a Super Bowl contender again. That's what they do over and over and over again. Right when you're out, they reel you back in. I'm not taking much from this win. The Houston Texans haven't looked amazing really all season and has been dealing with a lot of injuries on both ends of the ball, so I'm not taking much away from that. This is what the Jets do. They reel you in, and they just shatter you. I'm sorry to all Jets fans. The Cowboys lose to... Oh, my bad. Not the Cowboys. The Cowboys do lose, though, and Dak goes out of the game. And this is essentially... This could be the end of their season, basically. I know they made a move at the trade deadline, bring in Jonathan Mingo. This is good for this team. They are missing some depth at the wide receiver position. Jonathan Mingo brings some depth to this team, and he has shown some promise here and there. He hasn't done much this year, but he's had bad quarterback play, and he's young. I know people say stuff about the fourth rounder for him given the other trades with other wide receivers, but this is a guy on his second year. He's a young guy, second round guy, and if they see promise in him and they think they can develop him, I don't think this is a bad trade. Before this season, I don't think, Cooper Rush, we have seen him win games before for this team, but essentially I think their season's pretty much over next season. We'll see what happens. I think they should maybe trade Micah Parsons, get some other pieces, add some more depth to this team. That's really what they're missing. So I'm not sure what they do in the offseason. I like the trade. I'm not going to lie. It's not like something I think is going to be huge and game changing, but I do think this definitely helps out the team, adding Jonathan Mingo. The Lions continue to look amazing, and they are, to me, really the only clear-cut contender in the NFC right now. And then they go out and add another pass rusher, Zadarius Smith, who is a Pro Bowl guy. This guy could help you with the pass rushing. The Lions, they looked phenomenal already, and losing Aiden Hutchinson, the pass rush did take a hit. But then their secondary recently has been amazing and really locking in. Adding Zadarius Smith is going to help this team a lot, and really, to me, keeps them as a contender. Either way, I thought they were a contender, but this adds more depth on the defensive end. This is something they needed. Dan Campbell hinted if they go to the Super Bowl that Aiden Hutchinson might come back. That's a great pass rush duo. I like this move a lot for them. One thing about that game, I just want to say, Jordan Love has 10 interceptions for the season, and no one really talks about it. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback or nothing, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's been playing well, and he has these interceptions, and last year, Josh Allen had all these interceptions, and that was something that people love to keep bringing up. Jordan Love missed time this season and still has 10 interceptions right now. I think that's something we need to talk a little bit about, and with Josh Allen, how much criticism he got last year, that's something that I think people need to really look at now. Josh Allen was making amazing plays last year, playing at an elite level, and I don't think that the interceptions should be that criticized. Keon Coleman showing out to be a great rookie. He's having a little bit of a breakout since adding Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper wasn't even in the game last week, and he had a good game before getting injured. Keon Coleman having 417 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. He's getting a lot better at getting separation. He's a great 50-50 guy. I would even say maybe a little more than 50-50. This guy's got some great hands. This is proving to be a great addition for Buffalo. Buffalo really having a great season so far, 7-2, and people were saying this was going to be an off season for the Bills, that they're going to take a step back. And last year we said that about the Chiefs, and now this year we said it about the Bills, and the Bills are showing out. Josh Allen showing why he is that clear-cut two guy. I guess you could throw in Lamar maybe, but showing that he is this elite guy, one of the really only clear-cut top-level quarterbacks in the league right now. That's something I think we need to talk a little bit more about. They are definitely a contender in the AFC right now. Marshawn Lattimore is going to the Commanders. The Saints traded him away. The Commanders, this to me is a move saying, hey, we think we are contenders. We think we can do this. And that's one thing I think we said. The Commanders have been playing awesome offense, and I think people were questioning the defense a bit. This bringing a key piece to the defensive end, and Dan Quinn has had this defense looking really good the last couple weeks. If they keep playing how they've been playing, now adding him in, this is a real contender. I know he's a rookie. I know there's only been a handful of rookies to even make a conference championship. No rookie has made the Super Bowl, but this team is really good. The defensive end, the defense has been great. Adding in this guy, it's only going to get better, and the offense has been super efficient and great. I am excited to see what happens in the postseason with this team. Mike Williams to the Steelers, adding some depth on the receiving end. That's something they needed. Take a little bit of pressure off of George Pickens, vice versa. Russell Wilson has been looking great in the passing game. I think bringing another weapon is going to be great for this team. They add another defensive player. This team is really trying to make that push. They're sick of just leaving in the first round every single year. I think this year they really want to make that step. I'm excited to see what happens. This is I know it's not like a wide receiver one type guy, but I do think this is going to help out, clear out the field a little bit. This is going to help the Steelers a lot. Tre'Davious White going to the Ravens. I know he hasn't had a great season so far, but the Ravens, this team has looked unbelievable, and the really only slight weakness they've had is the secondary, and this is going to help them a little bit with some depth. I don't think he's going to be a huge game changer, but he has that promise. He has shown that in the past. I do think this is a good pickup for the Ravens. At least they acknowledged they needed something there. They had a little bit of an issue, and they went out and tried to figure something out and fix it. I'm not sure how much of an impact he's going to have, but I do know it will impact it a little bit, and this team is very well-rounded, and this is a scary team in the AFC. Those are all my takeaways for Week 9. I do have a little segment I wanted to do. These are my MVP candidates halfway through the NFL season. Starting off with Lamar Jackson, he has been playing unbelievable. He's tied right now for the most perfect passing rating game or perfect passer rating games in the NFL right now. I think Lamar Jackson has been playing lights out. He is on pace for 4,500 yards, tied for most passer rating games. This is something to keep your eye on. I do think it's possible for him to get 3 MVPs. Next, I got Josh Allen. He has been unbelievable. I think he should have won it last year, and this year he's coming in, has dropped the turnover rate dramatically. The interceptions he's only had 2 interceptions. They weren't bad interceptions as well. I think that he is definitely a front runner. Next, I'm going to give props to Baker Mayfield. He was looking amazing in the beginning of half of the season. Then he loses all of his weapons, and he's still looking great up there, almost beating the Chiefs. I have to give him his flowers. Next, we got Joe Burrow. He has also been playing amazing. I think that I would have him higher up and give him more of a chance if they were winning. That's the one thing. Joe Burrow has been playing amazing, but they are losing, and I know they have other problems, but I think that's a big key in the MVP. You have to be winning, so I have Joe Burrow in there, but I do understand if you want to leave him out of there. that's all the NFL content we have this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about the NBA, just talk briefly. The Bucks have been having a rough start to the season, despite Damian Lillard looking absolutely phenomenal. They're just they're lacking something on the defensive end of the ball. I think that they have the roster to figure it out. It's still super early in the season. They have the roster. I don't really have much confidence in Doc Rivers to figure it out, but Giannis and Damian Lillard, if they could find that connection, they're going to be just fine. But I do think it's something to keep your eye on. The Cleveland Cavaliers are starting off 8-0 right now, and year and year again, we see them go to the playoffs and then they eventually get knocked out. But can they be a real contender? I know they have the defense. The offense has been inconsistent. Darius Garland has had a great start to the season, averaging about 17 points per game, 18 points per game. But Donovan Mitchell has been amazing. The offense, if they can keep playing how they are definitely a contender to me. But I'm going to need to see it be consistent because we've seen in the past they have their flashes, but they are a bit inconsistent. The defense, I know it's there. I know they have the defense to be a contender, but this offense, I need to see them be more consistent. They have the pieces. They have the players. We need to see them put it together, and then I'm definitely ready to put them into a contender position. That's all I have for episode 13 of the Tailgate Sports Podcast. Tune in next week. I will be on vacation, so I'll just have a brief video. I will record it on the vacation just quickly. Oh, I almost forgot my picks. That's what we're missing. Okay. Let me just find... I almost forgot about the picks for a second. We're on week 10. The NFL season is just flying by. NFL week 10 picks. Starting off with the Bengals and the Ravens, a division matchup. The Bengals need wins, but I see the Ravens getting this one. The Giants and the Panthers. I think I'm going to go with the Giants here. The Patriots and the Bears. The Bears need wins. I think Caleb Williams is going to have a nice showing here. Give me the Bears. The 49ers and the Buccaneers. The 49ers need to start getting these wins for them to lock down their division. Give me the 49ers. The Broncos and the Chiefs division matchup, but the Chiefs have been starting to look like themselves again. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. Bills and Colts. The Bills have been looking unbelievable. Joe Flacco has been looking great, but I'm going to go with the Bills here. Steelers and Commanders. I think this is going to be a great matchup. I'm leaning a little more towards the Commanders here, though. Vikings and Jags. Give me the Vikings here. They've been playing outstanding. Falcons and Saints. I'm going to go with the Falcons here. Titans and Chargers. The Chargers, to me, are looking like a real legit team right now. I know they're not pretty, but they're getting their wins. Give me the Chargers here. Jets and Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Cardinals here. Eagles and Cowboys. The Cowboys really need to get their wins, but I'm going to go with the Eagles here. Lions and Texans. The Texans have not really impressed me. Give me the Lions here. Dolphins and the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams. They're impressing me lately. Puka Nacua, everybody's back. I'm going with the Rams. Now that is all for episode 13 of the Tailgate Sports Podcast. Like I said, next week I will be on vacation recording a small episode. Tune in then. I'll see you next week.